Space is not just empty, it is silent in a way the human mind was never designed to understand. The universe looks violent, galaxies collide, stars explode, black holes consume entire worlds, and yet, almost none of it makes a sound. No screams, no thunder, no roar from exploding stars, only endless silence surrounding everything. On Earth, silence barely exists. Wind moves through forests, waves crash across continents, even the air around your body vibrates with invisible sound. But the moment humanity leaves Earth, something strange happens. The noise disappears. Suddenly, there is nothing, only breathing, a heartbeat, and the void. Astronauts often describe space as deeply unnatural, not because of what they see, but because of what they do not hear. The reason is surprisingly simple. Sound needs matter to travel through: air, water, solid particles. Without particles carrying vibrations, sound cannot exist, and space is almost completely empty. The distances in space are emotionally impossible to understand. Planets are separated by oceans of vacuum, and stars are separated by even greater darkness. Human brains evolved for forests, mountains, and oceans, not for scales this enormous, not for silence this absolute. Even in regions scientists consider dense as space, there may only be a few atoms inside an entire cubic centimeter. Earth's atmosphere contains billions upon billions of particles in that same amount of space. Compared to Earth, the cosmos is almost perfectly empty, which creates a disturbing reality. The most violent explosions in existence happen in total silence. Entire stars die with more energy than billions of suns, but if you were close enough to witness it, you would hear absolutely nothing. If you stood on the moon and watched a massive meteor strike nearby, you would see the explosion. You might even feel vibrations through the ground, but the blast itself would remain silent. No shockwave, no thunder, no sound racing across the landscape because there is no atmosphere to carry it. In space, the only sounds astronauts truly hear come from inside their own suits: breathing, mechanical systems, their own heartbeat. And over time, that silence becomes psychological, because the human brain was never designed for an environment this empty. On Earth, your brain constantly processes background sound, wind, voices, movement, tiny reminders that life surrounds you. But in deep space, there are moments where a human being may feel completely separated from all living things in the universe. And the deeper we travel into the cosmos, the quieter reality becomes. Entire galaxies are separated by millions of light years of near-perfect vacuum, distances so enormous, human language barely describes them. Even humanity's own signals slowly vanish into silence. Radio broadcasts from Earth weaken as they travel outward, eventually becoming indistinguishable from cosmic noise. Somewhere beyond our solar system, the echoes of human civilization are already dissolving into the universe. Ironically, space is not truly quiet. It is filled with invisible signals humanity cannot naturally hear. Radio waves, radiation, magnetic disturbances. The universe is constantly communicating through invisible energy. Some neutron stars spin hundreds of times every second, releasing enormous bursts of radiation across the cosmos. Scientists have converted those signals into sound, and the result feels deeply unnatural, almost mechanical, like the universe itself is breathing. Even black holes create vibrations, not through air, but through gravity itself. When two black holes collide, they release more energy than entire galaxies. For a brief moment, they can outshine almost everything around them. But the collision does not create sound in the traditional sense. Instead, it sends ripples through space-time itself. Invisible distortions moving across the universe at the speed of light, passing through stars, planets, even your own body, without you ever noticing. Humanity only discovered these waves recently, tiny vibrations from ancient black hole collisions, finally reaching Earth after billions of years. That means somewhere in the distant past, two invisible monsters collided in darkness, and the universe stayed silent the entire time. Earth may actually be one of the loudest places in our cosmic neighborhood, because atmospheres create sound, Weather creates sound, life creates sound. But there are worlds where silence may have lasted for billions of years. No oceans, no wind, no voices, only frozen darkness beneath an empty sky. And that raises a disturbing possibility. If advanced civilizations once existed somewhere in the cosmos, many may already be gone. Their planets silent, their cities frozen, their signals erased by time itself. The deeper we look into the universe, the stranger the silence becomes. There are trillions of galaxies, potentially countless worlds, and yet the cosmos appears overwhelmingly quiet. Maybe silence is not just a feature of space. Maybe it is the natural state of the universe itself. Because wherever life disappears, silence eventually takes its place. Right now, humanity has only sent a few small machines beyond our solar system. Tiny ambassadors crossing an ocean of silence. And even those machines will one day disappear into darkness, unheard by almost everything in the universe. Inside Voyager, humanity placed a golden record, sounds from Earth, music, laughter, the fragile noise of a living species. A small archive of voices traveling through endless cosmic emptiness, proof that somewhere in the darkness, a planet learned how to sing. But the farther Voyager travels, the quieter the universe becomes. Eventually, even our sun begins to look insignificant, just another tiny point of light swallowed by infinity. And according to modern cosmology, the universe may become even quieter with time. Galaxies are slowly moving away from one another. The cosmos itself is expanding, stretching reality into greater and greater isolation. One day, future civilizations may look into space and see almost nothing at all. The stars around them will have faded. Nearby galaxies will disappear beyond the observable universe, and silence will dominate almost everything they know. Long before that happens, Earth itself may already be gone. The sun will eventually expand into a red giant, oceans will evaporate, the atmosphere will disappear, and our world may return to silence forever. No cities, no oceans, no voices, only a dead planet drifting through darkness. And maybe that is what makes life extraordinary. On one small planet, Adam somehow learned to speak, to create music, to ask questions, to fill a silent universe with thought, emotion, and meaning. The universe is unimaginably vast, cold, ancient, and mostly silent. But for a brief moment in cosmic history, we are here, listening, wondering, trying to understand the silence surrounding us. And perhaps that is humanity's real purpose. Not to conquer the universe, but to witness it. If you enjoyed this journey through the cosmos, consider subscribing for more cinematic explorations of space. Because the deeper we look into the universe, the stranger reality becomes.